to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome to the Flesh and Blood podcast. I'm Siobhan. Welcome to the song. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. Down there we've got the Brian.
Hello.
And up there we've got the Floridian. We've got Lilibet.
Yes, until Florida sinks into the sea.
Oh,
You know, that could be your Doctor Who name, your Time Lord name, the
What, Florida?
Floridian.
Fear us and despair.
You need the cool, effect. Ah!
Yeah.
The black
And a
and
big
white negative.
Big hat.
Yes.
They all have big hats.
how's your week been? Fortnight been, Brian?
Hot. Very, very hot.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of hot. Lots of sweating.
Right. Did anything happen in the hot?
Yes, I discovered that my car no longer has air conditioning, and I have to go and get it recharged.
Oh.
Adam's had a similar problem.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
a
car
huge
I'm
pain in
gonna
the ass
get.
because
The ICCU, there is 2 recalls on it, and I've got to make sure they get them done before they give me the new car.
yeah, it's a huge pain in the butt because they want money for these things.
They do. They do.
do.
Unreasonable people.
How dare they?
Air
Disgusting.
conditioning
dare.
is like a human right.
So I've been driving around like it's 1993.
Ooh.
Windows
Oh.
open.
Oh.
Wind in my hair. Thank God I'm not going bald.
You want to have the whole 1993 experience? Put some crayons in the hand holder area of the
No,
car.
I was 20 in 1993. So,
Oh, okay.
So
I
shades
had
then,
the
dude.
Music up, the
Yeah,
windows
exactly.
down.
Shades.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. You're allowed. You've got a beard.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit. How's
I've
your
earned
fortnight
every
been?
single one of these gray hairs.
How's your weekend been? Weekend? Fortnight.
It's been okay. It's been a lot. Because we had graduation last week, so it was finishing up with my kids, and then it was going to my tutoring students' graduation, and then it was practice, and then it was our graduation, which is like be at school all day, rush to the graduation, which is close to home but an hour from school, and be there at 3. I think I was there a little bit before 3. And then actual ceremony was at 5, and we weren't done till like almost 7. And then it's an hour in the parking lot saying goodbye to everybody and taking pictures, and it was a lot. And then I've had my crochet club kids in my class because they're just classes are done. We're not doing anything. We just continue to have school.
We used to bring
But
games
they're-
in.
Yeah, people bring games. My tutoring students have been coming in. They're doing a service project, and they're working on things for their service project.
Mhm.
So I said they're welcome. They can come in and hang out, which is fine. But it's that work's done, but it's not done kind of thing. And so the brain is starting to process all of the end of year stuff, which is kind of exhausting.
Fair enough.
A very, very good friend of mine who works across the hall from me, Friday was his last day, and he flew to England yesterday evening.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because his visa finally come through and he gets to go home and live with his husband. And they've been apart for quite a few years. So he and I had a lot to talk about.
Right. Okay. I guess he's American, but he classes England as home.
Well, it is when your husband is there.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
Home is where the heart is.
Yes. So, Yeah. So that was saying goodbye and, I mean, wishing him well and wanting the best and glad he finally gets to go, but gonna miss him like crazy at work and, you know. So just a lot.
The Fencegate saga.
I shall take
You're
notes.
welcome.
So anyway, it was all done. It was all sorted. It was brilliant. It was great. I was feeling...
That's it?
No.
It's done?
No.
No, there was a was in there.
Yeah. Last night, I settled down to have something to eat, and something was missing. My dog. My dog never misses it when I'm eating. I searched everywhere for her. I tried to look in the garden, but I've got a crinoid there. In fact, I think I've got both pods. Everywhere. Looked everywhere. And then I went to open the front door, and she comes running in. So I had a look today, and yes, she's dug out a little bit underneath. So I grabbed somebody's junk on the way here. That different connotations over here, Brian. And slid it in the gap in the hope that might just suffice.
Do you mean you took someone's wood?
Why, yes, Brian, I did.
Okay. Just checking.
Little bit. Care to join in on the pun side here?
Oh, I am an innocent little flower. I have no idea whatever you're talking about.
I mean wood, a piece of wood, a plank.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I got to try and get that sorted out. Trouble's got zero money. Oh, anybody wants me to phone them? I'm not going to be able to. Shit, I won't be able to phone the doctors. Oh, well. Things have got a bit tits up this fortnight, you see. I don't know why. That's the thing that's puzzling me. I don't know why. I think the cost of living thing is finally hitting into me. And, yeah, I wasn't expecting the boom. Hey, we're having a general election over here.
Yeah, I heard about that.
July 4th, as I understand?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it could be our Independence Day. Free from the Tories. But
if you ask the French nicely, they might help. That's what we did.
Yeah, but we were against them, so maybe not the best.
Well, I can see the French being against a bit of the Tories. They had their own revolution. They cut off the heads. It's
yeah, but then there's a quote: "Do you want to see a guillotine in Piccadilly Square?" And right now, I believe it's yes.
It's Piccadilly Circus, love.
I don't care.
I'm just saying.
But there's a lack of elephants.
And clowns. Well, no, not clowns.
Acrobats.
Trapeze artists.
There's a load of clowns walking around trying to work out which way to go. There's a police post there. Mini version of a police box. Right. So there's that. Had to book the car in for an MOT. There was stuff I wanted to remember, and my memory's gone completely. And now I'm trying to remember everything. I'm starting to panic that I can't. Very weird. There was news. It was news. I was going to...
Yeah, news.
Don't know what it was. It'll come to me. By the way, we've reached an ample point in time where I can turn to you and go, so have you worked out why I'm doing the song lyrics yet? Months I've been doing this. Months. It's taken so much effort.
John Hurt, 1984.
Oh, God. I want to die.
You're the one who keeps bringing it up.
So, one more cycle, and then I'm probably going to have to try and simplify it for you. It's nothing to do with Doctor Who.
No, I'm just wearing our official, unofficial shirt.
Fair enough. That's good. Katie Manning's been announced for Whoville.
Yep.
So you got Katie, you got Matthew Waterhouse, Deji Ashford, and I can't remember who the other young lady is. I think Daisy. Yes, no.
I saw that Bill got married.
Yes, I saw that too. Good for her.
Excellent.
Well,
She
Pearl
even wore
Mackie.
blue shoes.
Well, Pearl Mackie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pearl Mackie got married.
I don't really follow the news, so
It was on one of the Doctor Who groups.
really.
I know you are the Doctor Who group.
No, I think I'm getting tired of all the back and forth. Don't know. No idea at all. So anyway, yes. I was going to tell you something.
And you're sound
yes.
it. There we go.
There we go. Right, now. For several months now, I've been getting concerned that we haven't heard anything from my father's solicitors about the house. It came off probate at the end of February, and we hadn't heard anything since. So I checked with Mrs. and I then emailed them, and they came back rather baffled. My sister had misread one of the emails. We could have sold the house at the end of February. All that worry. Wondering what the hell's going on. Oh, man. So, we got a clear path now.
I'm
Hardest
glad you
landing.
checked.
Yeah. That's,
I told you to call them.
well, I emailed them.
Well,
It
either
costs
way,
money to-
I
it
told
costs
you
money
to
to
get
fi-
in touch with them.
It costs money to phone Jersey. Unfortunately.
You know something? It costs money to not have money. You now can get money.
Well, we don't know
It
yet.
does.
The
Being
house,
poor is very expensive.
the house isn't going to be cleared until the summer. And the housing market is quite sluggish. So, but the
some
point
time.
is, at least I now
Somebody's
know
always looking for that.
legally we
You know,
can continue.
Yes.
somebody's
You know?
always looking for that summer home in Jersey or something. Uh-huh.
I'm just thinking of the house and how good a summer home it would make. Summer homes tend to be near the beach, and the house is at the top of a hill.
Does it have a view?
Oh yes,
Then you're
across
golden. Look at
St
that
Helier,
view.
all the rooftops, and then up on the side of the hill, you've got the trees, and you've got the girls' college. I think it's the girls' college or Victoria College, up there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which gets lit up, which is quite pretty.
As long as you have a view,
Don't quite see the
you
sea.
can work with that.
Great house for kids to grow up in. There's so much room in it, you know.
Sell to Richie Sunak. I hear he's going to be needing a place soon.
No, the only reason he called this election, I reckon he got a job offer. And it probably starts on July the 5th.
And to
tired
be fair,
of-
who wants to be PM anymore?
Well,
I think he's
it's their own bloody
just tired of
fault.
people making fun of his trousers.
I mean, it's gone wrong for them since day one of this election campaign. First of all, he announced it in the pouring rain. Nobody could thought of an umbrella or doing it inside. Nope, we're going to do it outside.
Nobody
he got
liked him that much.
drenched.
Give him an umbrella.
He got utterly drenched, and somebody very loudly, one of the protesters outside, was playing D. Ream's "Things Can Only Get Better," which was the
Nice.
1997 theme song for Tony Blair's election campaign. So that
You
was
know,
expert
there's-
trolling.
There's no one who does musical trolling quite like the British.
Okay, if you say
I
It's
will
a very clear subgenre of trolling.
I will say, I think he could have picked a better song. Perhaps Flogging Molly in The Worst Day Since Yesterday. No? Nobody knows that song?
that's why he chose "Things Can Only Get Better." There was a reason for that. It ties into Tony Blair's government. You see, there was a huge landslide in 1997, and the Tories got booted out. And then people forgot and voted them back in again. Well, how long will it take him to forget this time? Then the second day, he goes off to Wales, and he goes and sits in a pub with some locals. And he starts to... Apparently there's a sports ball competition coming up. So, because he's a man of the people, he decides to say, "You're looking forward to the football?" Wales didn't qualify.
Ouch.
Okay, here's the thing. Whoever is in charge of sending him to these places doesn't like him either.
I think it's deliberate. I think he's trying to lose.
Well, it's possible, but, like, that has a real distinctive yes minister quality to it, doesn't it?
It does. And then they found out that he went to a workers' plant, put on the good old high-vis jacket and whatever, because he's man of the people. And they discovered that the two people in the audience who are of workers, who were asking him questions, had actually been shipped in. They were a couple of local councillors who'd been told to put on high-vis jackets and ask questions, particular questions.
Oh, his team is not good at this.
It's not going well, is it? It's blissful.
Trump got booed.
What?
At the Libertarian Convention.
Oh, what did he say? What did he say to get booed?
He existed at a Libertarian Convention. That's what he did.
Pretty much. That's
I thought the Libertarians liked Trump.
No, they don't like him.
What was he doing there then?
He's trying to get on their ticket and drum up the third-party votes because they're worried about him losing because of third-party votes.
Biden's got the same problem. I couldn't call this one. I'll tell you that now. I've got a depressing feeling it will go to Trump.
Apparently, some libertarians at the convention threw a punch at a Trump supporter and had to be escorted out.
Oh dear.
There were all Trump supporters in the front row because, he likes to play to his own crowd. But they told them to move because their votes were already given away. We'll bring in the Libertarian delegates because that's who he's here to see. They didn't like that. Some people in the crowd actively were talking, ignoring him, turned their backs on him. It was the shortest campaign speech ever at 34 minutes, and really we could use a little bit more of that.
I do think campaign speeches should be timed at about 3.5 minutes. I'm done. Mm-hmm. Say what you got to say. Get up on the stage. Timer starts. When that timer goes, you're done.
God, I can't wait for Colbert and Myers. The monologues, or they get a closer look.
Monday's going to be a good day. Monday is a good day. It's 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
The same here. We've got a bank holiday tomorrow, which is exactly the same as every other day, but the cafe shuts 2 hours earlier, which is really annoying.
Yeah, I gotta run to the store tomorrow.
So over here, it's foregone conclusion Labour will get it. It's just by how much. But America, I think Trump might just edge it.
I don't think so.
Oh, I pray he doesn't. I really do. So, Brian, what happened in the RPG last Saturday?
Well, we went to Denny's and everybody had eggs and bacon and toast. And then stuff.
Okay.
Denny's and the breakfast for dinner.
Yes. Oh, and Siobhan decided to bully her way into a city councilwoman's office.
I didn't try and bully my way at all.
Yes, you
did.
That wasn't bullying. I'll just wait for her in here.
That wasn't bullying.
You don't have an appointment. Look, you don't get through the door.
When I got sent off, well, I didn't get. I volunteered to go and do this. Jess said, "Don't be weird," so I wasn't.
No, you were aggressive.
Proof.
Wow, I'm really
Those
surprised
people hide
by
from
that.
their constituents.
I was not trying.
Exactly.
I was not trying to be aggressive.
Go to your city council office and pull the same stuff. Let's see how far you get.
I think it's an excellent plan.
Yeah.
I'm being ganged up on here. I don't like
So
it.
No,
she
I
was
agree
in
with you.
jail,
Yeah, I'm in jail now.
and we ended it with
But I would-
almost having to do a jailbreak.
And what
However,
happened in the first half hour?
you went to Denny's.
Okay. Do you not want to give a little bit more detail?
Somebody was hungover. Denny's is the cook at the tavern you're staying at, the Hawaii Johnson's.
You're going to make me do this,
And-
aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Retta, are you here? No, I don't think you are.
Go ahead.
Retta's
You can give a recap as well. I mean, you were there.
Retta's character had a skinful. And also she's abusing amphetamines.
That is the required clientele at Denny's.
Well, at this
Well,
tavern,
this was at
apparently.
like 8 a.m.
Now-
So it was not outside the normal 3 a.m.
Yes, that's fair enough. That's more Waffle House.
Yeah.
I was oblivious to what had been going on in the evening. I'd gone to bed.
Oh, Siobhan had an epic battle.
Yeah. Oh man.
It came at her. She stabbed it. She slashed at it. The beast flew and exploded around her in feathers everywhere as the pillow slowly disintegrated.
Well, you see, there was this terrible, god-awful noise of some giant swamp creature echoing throughout the tavern.
The sound of a dead giraffe.
Oh, indeed. And I couldn't work out what it was, because I'm still a bit naive at certain points when it's funny for me to be so. And so I decided to try and hunt down this beast. I found it. It was a shape under a blanket in a room. And so I poked it with just to see. And it responded, but I got attacked by this strange bird thing with feathers. And it was a mighty struggle. And anyway, I managed to slice it into pieces. And then Retta managed to stun herself because she thought she was being attacked. She was very hungover.
Crit fail on casting stun.
It was very funny. And she ended up on the floor and trying to work out where the water came from. Oh, that's right. I went and got a vase of
Took out
water
the flowers
and tipped it over her to try and work
and
that wake her
poured
up.
hunky water on her.
Yeah, that didn't work. Of course, by now the water and the feathers were combining to stick to her. And then Jess came in and said, "Look, Tarkley, do you know what would be even better? This is really, really great medicinal healing powder. It's very sparkly, and you just cover her as much head to toe in this glitter.
Everywhere.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a brilliant idea. It's a great healing device. It worked. I'm going to be using
So
glitter
she
a lot."
woke up looking like a stripper after a 3-day bender.
And she
The
didn't
mascara.
realise at first.
Glitter. Yeah. Water.
It's on the Thaco Gaming YouTube channel. I wholeheartedly recommend you go and watch at least the first half of it. Because it's... Like I said to you, being a part of it, probably it's a lot funnier for me than it might be for somebody on the outside watching it, but it's bloody hilarious. A proper RPG shenanigans. I thought you'd approve of that.
I approve.
Hold
I
on to 'em.
approve of shenanigans.
Hold on to these moments.
Oh dear.
See, I don't like the idea that this new campaign you're looking at, new characters. I don't like this. I'm getting very comfortable with Tarklu.
Don't worry. You have a long way to go with this campaign still. I was discussing this with Jess the other night. Well, last night actually. And there are still at least 4 parts of this campaign
goodness.
you guys still have to get to. I know where you're going for this next. Once you do finally, by some manner and chance and me railroading
How many
you
sessions
into
had
it,
you planned for
leaving
this?
fucking planet.
How many sessions had you planned for this particular thing?
No, I don't play in sessions because you assholes fucked that up. I plan, arcs, and this is what's going to happen then, and this is going to happen at this point in time, and if they turn left, this happens. If they turn right, this happens. Things like that. I don't plan how long it'll take, but I'm figuring wrap up maybe by Christmas, given our 2 hours every 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a lot better than I thought. What am I looking for? There we are. So yeah, that's next Saturday on the Thaco Gaming Twitch channel at 3 p.m.
YouTube channel.
No, Twitch.
Twitch.
We do
YouTube
it live.
and Twitch.
Yeah, same
We're
as
live
this.
on Twitch, and then we upload to YouTube.
Which reminds me,
most people watch more than Twitch.
my apologies to people who are watching it on YouTube. We didn't get last week's show, which was a shame. It's last fortnight's show. Shame, because it was a really good one. But I foolishly played the title sequence to class. Didn't matter, it didn't have the music playing. The title sequence alone, blurred as it was enough to get the video blocked. Ironically, the actual video that I've got on my YouTube site is still there, of the class titles.
Ironically, Flash and Blade has 2 lost episodes. That last one and one previous.
3.
3.
Yeah. It's supposed to be going the other way, but it's not now. It's going, we're losing them left, right, and centre. Missing episodes, yes. I demand a documentary.
The lost episodes. Dun, 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 dun.
Get someone to go through a dusty archive and
Toby
find
Haydock.
the audio only
It can only be
version.
Toby Haydock. It can't. I'm sorry.
Or just edit out that portion of you showing with content prohibited by the BBC.
Anyway, because I really can't remember the rest of what I was going to say. And now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who. Spoilers! There's going to be spoilers! More spoilers, probably. I don't know. Do you like spoilers? I don't know. Have them fried.
I'm immune.
Anyway, yeah, we've given out the statutory spoiler warning thing. It's good of us, don't you
Yes.
think? So,
Well, I have, since we're talking Doctor Who, I've already opened it, so I'm trying not to knock it over. But I have jelly babies.
I'll be the judge of that.
They are proper jelly babies.
I have beef jerky.
There you go.
I
The package.
who have
Proper
nothing.
ones. But they have, I ripped open the package the wrong way, so it's very hard to show.
Yes.
And then I realized some of them have mango in them, and Mango and I are not friends.
Mango
Oh.
jelly
So
babies.
I have to pick out the ones that have mango.
What happened? What was the story there? Did Mango just not? Did they
Not
pick on
since
you
I
in
was a
school?
little kid. Not a fan.
Childhood trauma. I understand.
Yeah.
Mango
Get a
doesn't
rash.
belong in jelly babies anyway. The only jelly babies that are any jelly babies are Bassett's jelly babies. I'm sorry, but they are.
Are Taverners?
I can't eat them because
Taverns?
I eat too many and I end up feeling ill. So I don't eat jelly babies. Pathetic, isn't it? So anyway, couple of Anglican priests are on a battlefield. That's right.
Oh, Anglican Marines. They're not priests. They're Marines.
Marines, Anglican Marines. All right, I accept the difference. They see an automated hostile point with its blue flashing light, and unfortunately, one of them steps on a landmine, which goes off. It wasn't very nice. And then the other guy, well, he's blinded. However, the noise of the landmine going off has alerted the ambulance that there might be somebody ill. And this guy who's been blinded, the ambulance recognises it, realises it's not profitable to heal him, so kills him. There's a wheezing, groaning sound.
As if somebody left the brakes on.
Shut up. And we're
I'm
not having this.
saying-
We're not having this discussion again.
Hey, you contradict Alex Kingston. Let's see how far that goes.
I will.
I'd love to see that.
I
wanna
will.
see video
You
of that
forget.
someday.
I piloted a Type 76 TARDIS for 15 years.
Go ahead.
I know how to
You
pilot
ask
one of
Alex
these buggers.
Kingston.
Bloody handbrake, indeed. It's an affectation. That's all it is.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, then the doctor steps on the landmine. However, he stops before it goes off. So this one's a
Rather
bit
like
of a-
Harry Sullivan.
Yes, well, we'll come to Harry Sullivan. We will, because BBC Wales, their continuity announcer, says, so next up it's Strictly Come Dancing and blah blah. And now, where's Harry Sullivan when you need him? Brilliant, because
Nice.
Moffat's admitted this is straight from that scene in the first episode, Genesis of the Daleks, of Tom standing on a mine. And yeah, this mine's smart. It can detect all sorts of things, and if it detects things it doesn't like, it gets closer and closer to detonation.
Yeah, it also has a plot device built in, so it knows before. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It works really well as an episode, but it does know how long the episode has before the end.
Approximately 48 minutes until it needs to explode.
Will you excuse me just a moment? Carry on talking about Boom, please.
Okay.
No, it's all right. She's there. I thought she got out again. I'm paranoid, utterly paranoid about this.
Yes,
Okay.
this is, I
Good girl.
I got paranoid about my cat after a previous cat disappeared, and that's why they all wear jingly collars so that I can find her.
She was right down next to me. It's just
Did-
so dark I can't see.
Did a large reptilian entity possibly disappear? with that cat?
No, it was a really terrible former roommate
Ooh,
who I suspect put her out.
that's not good.
No,
Yeah, I
it
had
was
something happen like that
pretty awful. all the way
with one
around.
of, with my with the bandit.
Usually it's the pets that are, terrible former roommates.
I'm so looking forward to getting a bigger place where they've got more room to run. Plus, I can get 2 black kittens. It's not right not having a short-haired black cat. I
You could
always
have a
sh-
pride of cats.
I used to have 7. But the house was too small. And they didn't have enough chill-out space on their own, sadly. So, but yeah, I want to get... I could have a black cat. I mean, Chestnut is black, but he's a fluffy black cat, and he's brown in the right colours. So, it's ever since I've lost Mosh. Yeah. Sorry, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. Yeah.
No boom today.
Yeah, no boom today. Boom tomorrow. There's always boom tomorrow.
There's always a boom tomorrow.
It's Sophie Aldred's day. Boom. Right then, who wants to go first on this?
How about you? You go.
I've been. I'll turn around and say, despite the use of that LED wall for in-camera
practically lit itself on fire earlier. And I was making bacon in the oven because that's a lot easier way to
Could you
make
check
bacon.
for me, please? Thank you.
Is the stream up?
I don't know. I've
Okay.
restarted
Brian
it.
says yes.
Brian
this
says
is
yes.
Good. Hang on, just looking. Oh, hello to the bots.
Hello, bots.
Yeah, this is Virgin Media, boys and girls. This is what it does to me. I do apologise. I'm sorry. No, I was talking about the LED screen.
Yes.
It's either a success of the technology, but I found it looked quite cheap. And I wonder if that's... I thought the whole thing looked cheaper than usual because it felt studio bound to me. Which obviously it
This
was.
one did feel studio bound.
And I don't know, something was just slightly... It's a shame they couldn't have done it on location. But you try doing that, a location for that, it just wouldn't. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Still trying to work out why Ruby makes it snow. Yeah, no, this was good. Nice to see Susan Twist in a bit part role as the ambulance. Yeah. Right? No, actually, sod you, Lilibet.
Rude.
Rude. How dare.
I like Ruby, and every episode I'm liking Ruby more.
Yes, I will agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I like here that she's really brave.
Yes.
And so the doctor says things like, go away, go back to the TARDIS. This is really dangerous.
First
and
alien
she says,
planet.
Yes, he
In
forgets.
6 months, they've been travelling.
Mm-hmm.
First alien planet.
But he forgets that it's her first alien planet. And she experiences her first alien planet amid all the insanity and him being in danger. But when he's like, go back to the TARDIS, it'll take you home, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, you need me. Why would I do that? And she's very... It puts her in danger. And in this episode, really in danger. But I like that she's brave. And that pays off, I think, in the next episode, too. I like that she's determined. I like that she sees things in a creative way. She looks for solutions in different ways. I really like Ruby, even though she looks a lot like Rose.
Well, I was thinking to myself, the first 2 stories, enjoyable as they were, didn't really set the scene properly. And we needed something more serious. And this was serious.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it grounded things again, which I was rather pleased about. Yes, there's still the mysteries running through it, and we will play Joe Gets It Wrong at the end of this bit. But
Also, the
I
end
enjoyed
made me
it.
cry.
Sorry?
The end made me cry.
Ah.
The just dead, not gone,
Yeah.
which is lovely. And I like that the doctor got called on. He's real snippy about Faith earlier in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And
There was a hoo-ha about that.
there was a hoo-ha.
There was a hoo-ha.
But he was real snippy about it. And then he gets called on it at the end. And I like that.
Yeah.
Moffat's, where did I read it? Probably the latest DWM, said something along the lines of, the Doctor does not like Faith. However, he understands it exists and he realises he runs on it probably more than anyone else. And he is deeply uncomfortable in that fact. So...
Faith in him.
It was obviously a thing about capitalism and arms sales.
Yeah, but also because Moffat is bringing back his
Clerics.
which I think is a nice touch. Although it might confuse some people who haven't been around for a while.
Why? Because there was no callback to anything that had happened previously. These could have just been new characters. Oh, look, they're priests as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's a nice callback. I like that, you already have warriors. You might as well use them.
Oh,
But because that's who he's talking to, the faith comment lands differently than if it were in other circumstances.
guys,
Yes.
Yes.
my fix didn't work on Discord.
No, I know. I see it.
So I'm going to restart you. I do apologise profusely. It's going to be one of those nights tonight.
It's okay. I have cookies.
That's all right. I don't. I don't have cookies.
I have minty Oreos.
What am I looking for?
Very
Discord.
nice.
Minty.
Here we go. Back in a second. They'll be back in a moment. Don't worry. You don't need to worry about anything. I'm going to make everything better, she said, panicking. There we go. Let's get that there. And any second now, with luck, we should have them back. Here we go. Look, look, look. It's stuff. Discord. Yeah. How useful. So anyway, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. And same to the audience. We're just having mega problems tonight. I'll tell you what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to take it out of full screen mode. See if that might have a thing. Do a thing. I have to wait and see. Seize? Interesting. Where were we? Boom.
Boom.
Boom. What did you make
I
of
think
it?
it's my turn.
Yeah.
Yes, it's your
Yeah.
turn.
I'll agree with you. Ruby is very brave. She also has a remarkable capacity for compartmentalization of what's going on around her.
Mm-hmm.
She'll something will hit her from out of the blue, and she'll, like in the first episode, okay, we're parking that you're an alien for a second, and we'll come back to it. But
Mhm.
first, yeah. I didn't like the kid.
Okay.
The kid. All right. The kid has been living with the Anglican Marines for God knows how long, right?
And it's gone again. There's no point in keeping. I'll keep talking. Oh, for heaven's sakes! Why does this keep
Come
happening?
on, I
to
already
me?
did a word from our sponsor. Do I have to do another one?
I'm so very sorry. I'm so embarrassed. Is that gone? That's gone. Oh, why is this doing this? Can I do open as? No, I can't. Okay, so we're going to try again. I am so sorry about this, people. This is... I don't know how we're going to solve this. If anybody knows anything about Discord, please let me know, get in touch, let me know how this can be sorted.
Well, we're back.
No, we're fucking not, because I just...
No, we are, because I'm watching everything.
No, the reason I say this is I just closed the thing and I didn't mean to. There we go, you're back again. So anyway, yeah, that didn't work.
We're showing the... there we go. Okay, yes.
My
Delay
head,
time is kind of...
my head is pounding.
Yeah, no, I didn't like the kid.
He is a bit of a plot moppet. Or she.
Well,
Let's-
she.
Girl? Yeah.
She
She's
is
a bit of
she-
a plot moppet.
Well, not only that, but she understands how these things work. She understands how their technology and everything works. And she sees a hologram of her dad and goes running right for it, thinking it's her actual father. It's a bit contrived, but hey, what the hell?
I see your
And then
point.
you had the clueless Marine who
always
decides
one.
to shoot. Yeah, decides to shoot first before finding out what the situation is, and
Especially as the enemies are either made of mud or fog, not a blonde human woman.
yeah, they've never seen the enemy. That yes, they have, and the enemy is us. I thought Moffat was going to go, let those two ride off into the sunset together. No, we get standard Steve.
No. As soon as he said "I love you," that was it. You knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, the
He
minute you say "I
Said
love
I'm
you,"
retiring next week.
Yeah. Yes. Basically,
Yeah.
it's Doctor
Yeah.
Who's version of that.
2 days to retirement, and it had
Yes.
to happen now.
Yes, exactly.
Ah, dear.
I do think I agree with you that like all of the characters on the planet were a little bit slow. Like all of them, like the dad. I don't remember anybody's names and it doesn't matter. The dad knows that the ambulance will do this to him. He knows that. And he's like, well, maybe it'll be okay. No, he knows what's going to happen. Like the other Marines, like if you're a soldier and maybe this is the B arc worth of these Marines.
Oh,
not
I know it's
very
been
good.
Tal Day, but wow.
Well, they came onto the planet guns blazing at an invisible enemy that no one has seen.
It was a giant mutant stargoat.
Yes. And
Yeah.
now they've been like dying to their own machines. And no one noticed? Like
It's a thought.
no one
I
noticed?
need to ask you two to keep moving around a bit, because if you stop, I'm going to think
Then
the
you
thing's
can't tell when we freeze?
Yes, exactly. And my heart rate starts to go. I hate you, Brian. Plus, that's not a good look. If anybody wants to throw darts into Brian's mouth, now's your chance. Oh dear. I know. This one. I thought this one was okay, but after the madness of the first two, this one to me just felt like the zest had been sucked out of it. I was enjoying the madness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you needed the first two to say this is new Doctor Who and we're bringing joy back in. And it's over
The
the
first
top.
two were energy.
Yes. And-
Slowed the hell down.
And this one is, okay, we're going to literally stand in one place. And we're going to have a tension episode. And I think, like, Ncuti did brilliant. Beautiful acting.
Not even being able to move.
Right. Yes. And having to do things like control and the singing and all of that, like, that's all really, really good. I think it was far from my favorite Moffat episode, but it wasn't a bad episode. And it definitely felt like a throwback to more traditional type, as unusual as it was to have the Doctor in one place, a more traditional type setup.
Yes, I get your idea.
Well,
I get your drift there. Did you notice that this season has an awful lot to do with stepping on things?
Mm-hmm.
Be it landmines, butterflies.
Thomas pointed out
It's a
that all the
string.
episodes have to do with absence.
He shouldn't be drinking it. Seriously, it's not good for him.
I'm just saying, it'll fuck you up.
Yeah, man. Seriously. Stay in school.
Stay in school. Don't drink absinthe. Send it to me.
Makes the nose grow longer, you know.
Don't encourage them. But that the first one is, well, I mean, you have Christmas and you have the absence.
Yeah. Then you got, what's it? Absence of parental figures?
Yep.
Okay.
And then
absence of music?
Yep. This one is the absent father and actually the absent enemy.
Yeah.
Should get Thomas on this at some stage.
And the next one is the absence of the Doctor.
Self.
Yeah.
Absence of self. Yeah.
And yeah, complete
Before we go
basically
move on
isolation.
to that, can
Yeah.
we have thumbs up or down for Boom, please?
Oh yeah, thumbs up.
I'm gonna
Nice
give
change.
it a. Yeah. It's
Do
okay, but
put your thumb up then, Lilibet. She does as well. Why didn't you just tell me to sod off? So that was Doctor
No, I
Who
should do a
and
sarcastic thumbs up instead.
That'll do. That was Doctor Who and the Boom. And this weekend we've had Doctor Who and the 73 Yards. The ship materialises on a Welsh promontory, and the Doctor accidentally steps on what looks to be a fairy circle made up by the residents.
it's not a fairy circle.
I know it's supposed to be mushrooms, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was something more witchcrafty. And Ruby reads one of the scrolls on it about Mad Jack, and the Doctor's vanished. And in the distance, say, I don't know, give or take, probably about 73 yards away.
That's
is
a
this
good
figure.
guesstimation.
Thank you. Thank you very
No problem.
much. I had to do that a lot this time round. It was tricky, especially with 2D television. You know, you can't get the depth. I'm being attacked by the lead of my headphones.
It's in league with the cat.
Yeah. And this figure looks like an old person. Can't really make out the facial features. Just keeps following Ruby, always at the same distance away. Then Ruby moots Susan Twist, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd have thought it? She's gone out hiking. There was me thinking she was an ambulance. No, she's a hiker. Well,
You can do things.
Yeah.
She can be many things.
The elderly can be very active. Sometimes they need a hobby, and hiking keeps them going.
Fuck you. I've got my hobby. I chase tornadoes from the sofa.
They're very fast.
There was one last
Excuse
night
me.
that-
I have a present to pick up in the hall.
Oh, that's so sweet.
He's the gift that keeps giving.
Oh, bless. Let's not go into any more detail there. Anyway, Ruby gets into the local town. The thing is, this hiker she meets goes up to see this person, this figure, 73 yards away, has a quick word with her, turns, looks at Ruby, and then runs a mile. Ruby goes into the town and to a little Welsh pub, and they troll her something merciless. Oh, playing up to the "we don't like strangers around here" is the trope. You can't be 100% certain what they're saying is serious or not serious or what, and they wind her up about you stood on the circle, you read the scrolls. Very famous actress in that scene, Cheyenne Phillips. I, Claudius. There we go.
Oh, okay.
She's magnificent in I, Claudius. Wasted in this, I think, because if you get an actress of that caliber, you really want to use her. But she was lovely in what she was doing. And there's a giant pool of lava. Oh, you're back. Yeah. A couple of people do go out to sort of speak to this figure. They turn, they look at Ruby, and they run a mile. You're starting to see a pattern here. Ruby, the doctor's gone. There is no doctor. So she eventually gets back to London. No, sorry, Manchester.
No, she goes to London.
Sees her mum. Her mum decides to go and have a word with this figure. Even her mother turns and runs a mile.
But
Now-
what happens after is stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on a second. Thing the doctor had done, and wasn't it uncanny that he did it, was he dropped Roger McQuillan. Ap Quillam. Anselin Ap. Welsh names. Anyway, this guy who was Britain's worst prime minister tried to nuke the world. And,
Also Mad Jack.
yeah, also known as Mad Jack. And Ruby starts seeing him climb up because this story is now taking place over years.
Well, what happened with Ruby's mother?
She ran a mile, got into a taxi, and then changed the locks.
And then totally cut off Ruby.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Mhm.
When I say run a mile, that's what I mean.
I'm sorry, I'm not up on the hip British slang
Yeah, man.
you kids use over
Yeah.
there.
Groove on, Daddy-o. So she decides to start working for this guy in a... Please move. Yes, a little bit blinked, thank God. And initially a voluntary capacity to help him with his political ambitions and an idea to bring him down. And she susses it that if she's 73 yards away from him in a major event that's being publicised and everything else like that, and that woman's right there, perhaps the same thing will happen. He'll speak to her, or she'll speak to him, and he'll run a mile. And lo and behold, that's what happens. The ending to this is... It's not definitive. It's not clear. There's a hint that possibly this was the old woman following Ruby was Ruby's older self, trying to put things right. But it's not 100% clear. And this one has made me think. I've been doing a lot of thinking outside the cafe on this one. We're no longer in a rational universe.
No, but we get that from Kate, don't we?
Yes. Yeah. They're having to deal with more supernatural stuff.
Yes.
But that explains that ending. We're not going to get an answer. It's not a rational thing that's happened here.
The other thing is Ruby doesn't really remember it.
There is that too.
Because it was sort of a side
little
reality.
Yeah.
It's a turn left.
Yes, quite, Brian. And I find that very interesting. The One Who Waits. Just want to call out Millie Gibson on this. She was 18 when she filmed this. It was one of her first things she'd done after Corrie. To say she was magnificent is to understate it. To hold that show, well, on her own, quite frankly.
Yes. Yeah, she's in every scene.
Yeah. Remarkable piece of work. Deserves an award, I think. We won't get one. I say we. But, you know, she won't get it. But she bloody deserves it, because that was superb. You know, that was up there with Capaldi doing Heaven Sent.
Yes.
Though Capaldi will always be better because he's Capaldi. It's the law.
Not my law.
So, Brian, would you like to go first this time?
Sure. Okay. So, it's not a fairy circle. It's not.
It's some sort of witch, magical Wiccan thing.
Yes.
To protect.
Yeah, it's a protection
Stop
circle.
bringing
it's
back
not
Mad Jack.
Fairy ring. All right. They do
really
get
bugged
some
you,
things
hasn't it?
right. The person who went into it
Vanished.
vanished. Never seen again.
And if any doctor was going to be made to dance until he drops, it would be Shooty.
Well, you know, hey.
Oh, hello. The void is coming.
Sometimes they're not made to dance. Sometimes they're made to do other things. You don't mess with them.
Hello.
Anyway, when she goes into the little town, I honestly thought for a second, wait, they're back in the right time frame. Why are these people like putting her on like this? And then they bring out the app for the phone.
Oh yeah, we were saying magnificent trolling.
That was great, but they continue to troll her all freaking night. Bringing up, you know, witchcraft and everything.
If you're English, don't go to Wales. That's the message here.
Yeah. They'll really take it out on you.
Oh, they will. I'm not English.
it's interesting because for about half the show, I thought that this Ruby wasn't Ruby.
Okay.
If that
Oh.
follows. I thought she
Interesting.
was a fetch.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, because even the mother going, but you're not Ruby, are you? And it's like, wait, what?
When did she say you're not really?
When she was on the final
No,
phone call.
no. What she said was, "You're not my daughter, are you?"
Yes.
That's it. You're not really my daughter, are you? That's the line.
Yeah,
Sorry,
something
having-
was affecting that entire relationship.
Apparently, we will.
I
never-
like that
Sorry.
they had Ruby go out on her own and pretty much, try to live her life with something following her.
Mhm.
Talking with Kate about the perception filter and everything. That was good. But I didn't like the fact that Kate could hear whatever it was over her earpiece. When Ruby, when she was
Couldn't
with
hear
her
it over the
mother,
phone.
couldn't hear it over the phone. I didn't like that. I mean, if Kate had gone up to,
Well, to be fair, did the mother
Watcher.
have the phone up like that when she spoke to it? Or
I don't know.
Down that side.
you never know.
It's
but
a
still.
bit of a picky thing to.
It is a picky thing,
Yeah, man.
to have done. Then having the other coworker on Mad Jack's campaign. Everybody raise their hand if you think that he essayed her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, 100%. And that's one of the things that I liked about the story's choices is that Ruby is planning on destroying him because the doctor told her what he's going to do, right?
Yes.
And she's seen him talk in news things about what he's going to do. But he hadn't actually done anything yet, right? From that perspective. However, we know that he's a monster.
We
Because
know
of what he did to
already
the-
a monster.
Right. He's
This
already
is-
a monster.
Yeah.
So, from our perspective as an audience, he deserves whatever's about to happen to him. Like, nuclear arsenal aside, he deserves whatever's going to happen to him. And I like that in the story. That
I like they
didn't-
have it in universe reason for him. Yes, he is a complete monster from the get-go.
We had
Yeah.
a first for Doctor Who in this one.
Yes.
It got mentioned. You're having a pee round the back there.
Oh, the toilets.
You never know.
61 years and it can still surprise us.
Hey, it's a valid question.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Go on, please.
And I love how Ruby's like, I'm sorry I didn't do it sooner to the girl. Just wanders out onto the pitch, and everybody's like, get off the pitch. Get
She
off
chose
the
her
pitch.
moment, you know?
Yeah.
Moment of maximum impact. Should have done it in the office. No one would have seen him run off. And it was him running away that ruined the campaign. And immediately, again, we will never know what was said. RTD has said.
We won't know what was said, but if you saw the Watcher when she was lining her up right, that Watcher was like, thank you. Thank you. Just a little bit further. She actually did this.
And she kept repeating certain gestures through
She
the
did.
whole show.
She did.
Uh-huh.
And which reminded me a bit of Before the Flood and Under the Water, or whatever it
I
was.
would have been much happier if Ruby had tried sign language.
Yeah, that would have
the
been
Watcher?
nice.
That
Yes.
would have been, like, who are you? Just signing it to them.
What do you
Right.
want?
Yeah. I liked that the idea that she could use the Watcher as a weapon.
Yeah.
So
Or
She figured out how
Is that
to
what
use
you're
Watcher.
doing then? You're calling this figure the Watcher?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what she does.
It's all right. It's canonically
definitive.
incorrect. It's canonically incorrect, but fair enough.
I
She's
don't care.
the Watcher. What does she do?
Does she
she
watch,
watches.
though? But does she?
Well, they set it up that Ruby knows exactly how far away she is because she's measured.
Yeah.
She says to Kate, and that meeting with Kate was both really great and heartbreaking. But she says to Kate, I positioned her in front of a police car, and the policeman just drove right around her. So that says I can put her where I want her. So that I can, that pays off later.
Yeah.
The only people, and the discussion of the perception filter, the only people other than Mad Jack, the only people that the Watcher talks to are people that Ruby has sent to talk to her.
That acknowledge her existence and go up to speak to her. Other
Right.
than that, everyone else is safe.
But Ruby has to talk to them first, and then they talk to her.
Which is why I thought she was a fetch, and that lady was Faye.
Mm-hmm.
Just setting up the whole meal thing.
Yes. The one thing that there's a couple of things. One, this episode really plays with viewer expectations. I thought, when her mother rejects her, heartbreaking, because her mother's idea is a great idea. And that just, the look of hate she gives her, and it does lead into something that I have questions about, but and then the meeting with Kate, when you're like, okay, so she's with Kate, it's gonna be okay. She's gonna be with the other companions. She's got unit on her side. It's gonna be okay, and then that's gone too, and she's got nobody. And it continues, and then you think, oh, okay, she knows what her purpose is. It's to destroy this guy and protect the world from this guy. And then she does that, and the Watcher still isn't gone. Because I kept thinking, oh, okay, there's going to be a point where whatever this is going on, it's going to reset. And okay, she met her purpose, whatever. It's going to reset. But it didn't. So it plays with expectations this whole time.
I think it was you who made an interesting point. It's very M.R. James in places. O whistle and I'll come to you, my lad. A warning to the curious. That's another one with the figure going along. The treasure of abbots. I was going to say the abbot of Amboss, but that's wrong. But yeah, with that lonely figure in the distance always following.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very British ghost story, quite frankly.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The one thing that I did not like is if she is Ruby herself, which it seems like she is, future Ruby. In order for her to have said something to her mother that would cause her mother to react in that way, you have to get over two things. One, you have to say something so horrifying about the other person. And two, the person who's listening to you has to believe it to be true. And that is, like, if you say, oh, well, that person is the worst person on the planet, they did XYZ. But if I don't believe that,
yeah, so
then
there's more to just words there.
Right.
There has to be.
I have to believe that that's true. And that's it's one thing for the random hiker lady. I don't know, maybe she says to her, she's whatever. And random hiker lady goes, I don't know her. That could be true. But for her mother to never talk to her again.
Yeah, exactly. What the
Yeah.
hell?
And to say the most hurtful things she knew. I don't
I still
I
don't buy it.
can't
I
think-
think there's extra influence at work.
I can't think
Oh
of
yeah, yeah,
anything
there definitely was.
that she could say. I mean, even something like, "Hey, you have to cut off all contact because this is how it has to be, and I'm sorry it's going to hurt you all, but it is how it has to be." She wouldn't give her that look of hate.
Did you note how we had our first Bad Wolf moment? If you go back to Boomtown, when they finally managed to apprehend Margaret, and they're in the council offices with the display of the nuclear power station, and it's got the Welsh for Bad Wolf on the wall, and the doctor goes, "Bad Wolf? Oh, it's probably nothing." We had the same thing in this with the hiker, with the Susan Twist character. Ruby goes, "Have I seen you somewhere before?"
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The thing is-
we're going to play Joe Gets It Wrong.
Well, come the end of this series, of this arc, whatever, when they flash back to all the times we've seen this character, they're going to flash back to this point, right? Except Ruby doesn't remember this point.
That's a fair point. Now, Moffat
Yeah.
would be spot on detail like that. I wonder if RTD will. That will be interesting. We're going to play Joe Gets It Wrong. So, first things first, thumbs up for or down for 73.
I'm a sucker for a Faye story, so I'm gonna go thumbs up.
Cool. I'm with you on that. I really enjoyed it. I
I'll
really,
say
really
it
did.
left me feeling very melancholy, though.
That's understandable, but a good
It
ghost
was
story
supposed to,
will
though.
do.
It's a very lonely story.
It's very lonely. And the impact of, and I know I'm coming at this from a really particular perspective, but the impact of the person is suddenly gone. Now what do I do? Following on from Boom was not full. Thank you.
Not only that, but even the key wouldn't work in the TARDIS.
Yes. And the parallel thing when the mother changed the locks on her.
Yeah.
There's 2 scenes where her key
I
won't
hope
work.
you're taking notes at home. So, we're playing Joe Gets It Wrong. This is a thing from back when my original Plucky Girl assistant, Joe, used to try and predict what was happening in Ashes to Ashes final season. Yeah, I went well. So, what's going on with the overall season arcs, whatever? We saw Mrs. Flood. She goes, this has nothing to do with me, and she walks off, almost as if she knows she's a character in something that's happening. So, thoughts, ladies, gentlemen? Brian?
Let into the universe.
Sorry, your microphone didn't pick up
Oh.
the first part of that.
How's that? Is that better?
It seems to be.
I think whatever got let into the universe is influencing things. And we're going to see probably more of these sort of quasi-supernatural things, which is not unusual for Doctor Who. We've had
now hang on,
ghosts,
no,
we've
no.
had vampires,
Yeah,
we've had
but
werewolves.
there's always been a form of explanation for them. That's why I'm thinking, in this particular instance, this isn't quasi-supernatural. This is supernatural because of what forces have been let in.
No. If something, I'm thinking that something more powerful, something from outside of time, maybe shunted, like a branch from a timeline, where created a liminal timeline, if you
They
will.
do
So you're
give us
saying
the
that
definition
in-
of liminal space here.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you're
it's
saying that in a different timeline, a timeline in which these supernatural things can occur.
No. They're in a liminal space that mimics the timeline at a point.
Okay, I'm going to admit ignorance here. I don't know what liminal space is.
Oh, you weren't paying attention during the episode. They gave the definition.
I've probably
Yeah.
forgotten.
The transitional space between one and another.
So,
So, for
a pocket
example,
dimension.
The bit between the now and
Puck-
the now. No, that's
Yes,
time.
or a good example is when you're sitting in a theater seat waiting for a show to begin.
Star Trek. Star Trek did it.
Just one explanation at a time, please.
TNG did it. Remember the episode where it had Crusher just going on the Enterprise and everybody kept disappearing?
Remember
like
me,
they never
yes.
existed.
Yeah,
She was in a liminal space.
Okay, so you're saying that is where this particular season of Doctor Who is.
I'm thinking
Set.
something like that happened. I'm not sure when, but I'm probably with the destruction or the defeat of the Toymaker. Something came in from outside.
You can take it further back. Take it back to when old gangly McShouty bloke basically thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use salt and pretend it's a thing, except it was a thing, and he let everything in.
I think you're right. I think that's what we're going back to.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. Cause
Well,
there's
yeah. When he was out in space, out at the edge of space, something came in.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Something came in, and it's not centered on the Doctor, but it's throughout the timeline.
So here's the question: Omega,
No,
Sutekh,
not powerful enough.
the Trickster,
No,
or something new
new.
Something new, I suspect.
for a season finale?
Omega was God in his own liminal space, okay, in his own realm,
Okay. Remember the one who
not
waits.
in ours.
Sutekh got stuck in the time tunnel, and it took him Christ knows how many thousands of years to die, but he did. The one who waits.
But
It's a
Sutekh,
thought. I think
Sutekh couldn't get out of that.
No, but if you're saying this is a luminal space,
This is far, far more powerful than Sutekh.
I'd go and read your novelization of Doctor Who and the Pyramids of Mars if I were you.
No,
Sutekh is all powerful,
no, he's not.
Oh, hey, but Sutekh thinks
except
that.
If
when he needs
Sutekh
a
was all
hand.
powerful, why'd he get defeated?
Why did he need someone else to hold his cushion?
Mm-hmm.
That was Clara.
Why do you need the minions? Sutekh wasn't all powerful. All these big bad guys love going off on, oh, I'm all powerful. Oh, I'm the... No, that's bullshit. That's feeding their
If
own
you were all
ego.
powerful, why is those mummies the one you chose?
Why does God need a spaceship? All I'm saying.
Because they're cool.
That's also a good answer, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only valid answer.
I want to go zoom.
Yeah, I want to go wee. Okay, moving on. We've got Doctor Who and the Dot and Bubble, and Doctor Who and the Rogue coming up over the next 2 weeks. We'll be looking at those in a fortnight's time. Hopefully, we'll be a bit clearer on what's going on. Yeah.
Wait,
no.
how many episodes is this season? 8?
8.
And we're on what, 3?
No,
4 now.
4.
We're on 4. So coming up is 5.
Everything does feel a bit compressed, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see. You never know. It might get granted. I don't know. No, season 2 wouldn't have been granted that. It's done well in the ratings over here. Not so well. iPlayer and on the night screenings, the overnights. The overnights don't really matter.
But it's streaming now. You can't even count that stuff anymore.
Well, what I'm saying is they also count the iPlayer streams in that. Disney don't give out their listening figures. We're waiting until the end of 1 month from the Space Babies to find a consolidated figure when they've got all the different sources and they've got a final thing. It's still not brilliant. However, Disney, it's in the top 10 of at least 60 different countries of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good. and it seems to be staying stable. So, fingers crossed. Again, viewing figures don't really matter anymore, it seems.
No,
No.
they've mattered for years.
I was there at the cancellation. I still get the panic.
Well, sooner or later they will, but they're not at the moment. They're making really good episodes, so.
Right. Moving on, because we've got to move on. Wobble, wobble, fobble, wobble, wobble. Yeah, we've done this before, but for Brian's sake, we're doing this again. The kids at school are misbehaving. A new teacher, Elizabeth, she's having trouble controlling them. Trouble is she's getting bad headaches and hearing voices, and she's breaking out into a tomorrow person. And she's Stephen's teacher, and oh God! And then there's this picture.
Student teacher. We have to say that.
Yeah,
Student
so to prove her youth. And there's a picture that changes colour, and the kids' moods change. And then are they a blue or are they a green? You know, they each choose. It's a bit like the Drazi in Babylon 5. And this is possibly, and obviously this would probably be a subjective opinion, but this is possibly the best Tomorrow People story there is. I've got a couple of others which are favourites, but
This is their best season.
yeah, is it this season or was it the next season? I can't remember. It ends with the Revenge of Zedekiah, because the Revenge of Zedekiah I adore. It ties up all sorts of different things that have been happening during this, and back then you didn't see that sort of thing happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking at the blue and the green. Brian, do you want to start on this one, because we're doing this for you?
We are?
We are.
Okay. I thought we were doing it so Elizabeth a little bit could watch more.
Oh, I didn't realise I
Yeah.
could be that cruel.
She wasn't here for the first time around.
That's
I was.
true. I wasn't.
All right, Lilibet, your thoughts,
Well-
please.
I have been a student teacher named Elizabeth.
Oh yes.
Have you seen Weird Art?
Yeah.
I
man.
have seen weird art. I have seen way more violence than they thought was happening in the classroom. I mean, they talked about there being more violence. And they do step it up as the episode goes along. Their first few incidents were quaint.
Kid stuff, bully stuff.
Not even that. I mean, they had the kid on the floor and they were hitting him, and I was like, that's unacceptable. But one of their escalation scenes is the kids sitting in their desks, their assigned seats, throwing paper and pencils at each other. And I thought, this is a normal day.
That's Tuesday.
This is not escalated violence. This is teenagers.
You know, I don't remember things
Oh.
like paper planes and whatever people all through a lesson. I mean, it happened, but Not in
well,
that
the other
level.
thing is, I've been a student teacher and I've been a brand new young teacher when I wasn't much older than her. I was 22 when I started teaching.
you should be breaking out
And-
before long.
Just imagine a fist opening up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, one day my mother's voice came out of my mouth. That was quite the.
I've had that. Not your mother's voice, thankfully, but yeah.
I've gotten my parents' finger.
I've heard myself talking and suddenly thought, oh shit, I'm my father.
I went, actions have consequences.
Did you do that in class? Oh God.
Under my authority, rather.
Yeah, a little.
And so I've had, I can tell these things now because these people are that did this are well grown up. Because this was 20 years ago when they were 13 then, so they're grown ups now. I had kids sneak out through a hole in my portable floor.
Portable hole.
I was in a portable classroom.
Oh, okay.
I was
And there
so
was a hole in
hoping
the
it was
floor.
a portable hole. I really was. I want a portable hole.
That would be fun.
It would.
No.
It's what your dog has in your fence.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, your dog has one.
Really well.
I had students. I didn't used to sit them next to the bulletin boards because they drew penises on them. On their desks, they wrote rude words. They wrote the B word on their desks, and I made them spell it properly before I made them clean it.
Well, yeah.
It has a T in it. If you're going to insult me, spell it properly. Anyway, this sort of thing.
That B word, okay.
That B word.
More than once.
One year we basically had a riot at our school.
What colour was the picture then?
Maroon, probably. So, like, I've been in rough schools. And this was cute. Not that I condone violence, but what they decided was appropriate violence on a children's program to show what was happening. Although, again, they talked about much stronger violence. Anyway, in schools where we have to do lockdown drills.
This is where I have to buzz you out and say you've used your allotted time.
So,
Go on,
anyway,
carry on.
about the episode itself.
Yes!
Do
you see the subtle way I poked her then?
I think the Tomorrow People's very effective when they're actually focusing on teenagers and children. Mm-hmm. And British sci-fi is very effective when it focuses on creepy kids.
Mm-hmm.
Or mysterious kids.
Yes.
Or both.
Or both. So the idea of the cuckoo in the nest is a great idea. Not feasible.
2 seconds. Could you repeat the name of that bird, please?
Cuckoo?
Cuckoo.
Okay. It's interesting. You both extend that first syllable slightly. It's cuckoo, not cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
It's like, but I get penguin wrong. I can only say penguin.
Penguin.
Say aluminum.
Aluminium.
Exactly.
Cheating at Scrabble. That's all that is. But, you know, while you're sneakily putting U's in words, we're changing S's to Z's and getting more points.
Z's.
No.
You need
None
to play
of the other letters
Telefantasy.
ends like that.
Telefantasy Scrabble's great. Where you just put, stuff from Telefantasy, like names and whatever. The good thing about it is the letter Q can just appear anywhere on the board whenever it feels like it. So
He would too.
Your quid's in if you've got that in your little rack.
I think it was a good episode. I think it actually was strongest when we didn't 100% know what was going on. Uh-huh. I think when they started to give us explanations, the episode becomes weaker.
Mm-hmm. What do we think of the aging up playing of the young alien's uncle or grandfather? I can't remember.
He reminded me of old Mr. Banks from... Oh, yeah, I liked him, but he was basically old Mr. Banks from Mary Poppins.
See, I actually thought it was John or Chris in old makeup playing the character. Once
again, they send John to do a very simple job.
Why are they sending John to talk to people? This is not the dude's strong suit.
No, John stays in the Batcave and does Batcave stuff.
John is Q. Let him be Q.
In this episode, it's established. John is kind of out of touch with everything that's going on. Don't send him to tell people things. And don't send him to the school.
Well, the problem they had there is that Stephen was too young for her to take seriously. They needed somebody who was older.
They did, and I will say that the scenes where Stephen calls her by her first name in school.
Creepy. Cringing. Yeah.
No, and she's absolutely right. She's absolutely right to draw that line. And say, no, you call me by my last name. This is what we do. You're the student. I'm the teacher. That's the line. We can be friendly, but we are not friends. And
You
she
don't
does
fraternize with the students. That's how you get in trouble, even in Florida.
she
Or
does
unless
things
you're Matt
right.
Gates.
That's the interns.
She checks on the kids. She's the one thing she does that new teachers do that you shouldn't do is she threatens the children with the headmaster, which is the wrong choice,
Go on.
because that is the same as saying wait till your father gets home. That means I've got no authority, they've got all the authority, you can do whatever you want when I'm in here, and they're the only one with authority, and
It
you have
shows
to
weakness. Never show weakness in front of the
I
enemy.
used to make that mistake.
And we'll be
I'm gonna call
reviewing
the
that
dean.
cartoon.
I don't call the dean anymore. You deal with me.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
Actually, I'm usually very nice and friendly and whatever, but I'm not calling the dean to come deal with you. Mm-mm. I'm the person you deal with, and then I might send you to them as part of your consequence, but I'm the person you deal with. But it's a common new teacher mistake.
Okay, fair enough.
I thought she did a pretty good job being a student teacher. I don't think the kids showed the appropriate amount of disrespect.
Remember, this is 1970s British kids TV.
I remember.
Yes.
They've
No,
gotta
no,
be
no,
very,
no, no.
very careful.
That's not a pass. That is not a pass.
I mean, if you look
I
at Grange
remember
Hill-
being in kindergarten, and my class made a student teacher leave in tears.
There was one fairly interesting piece. It was a sketch on the young ones set in the Grange Hill, which was a school drama for kids, a couple of times each week in the afternoons, and set in the corridors there. And two actors come running through with the Grange Hill uniform and everything, and they're doing a little sketch about, who they're going to get, like Busker and Tucker and this and that. And yeah, okay. And they get caught by a teacher who says, "Come on, you lads, let's have none of this." And they go, "Well, what do you mean none of this? We're the only kids in this country who don't say f," and they cut it. It's not true to life. It
No.
just isn't. It's the Fen Street Gang, an old ITV sitcom. It's that sort of level of. I mean, you've got kids from a drama school or whatever who've been employed to come and sit in the class. One of which ended up becoming quite famous. If you lower your birds of a feather a little bit. Dave didn't show on to you.
I might have it somewhere, but
Pauline Quirk. Yeah. I have no idea what point I was trying to make. So that was nice.
But back to the aliens.
Aliens. Go on, Brian. Go on, have a say.
All right. Well, you have the cuckoo bird aliens. And so basically they're emotional vampires.
Yes.
They feed off of humanoid aggressive emotions. But only when they are, I want to say, molting into adults.
what did they say? Spawning or something?
Yeah. They're kind of like salmon.
Yes, that's a good analogy.
Yeah,
and
the
so they're
last
trying
time-
to.
Yeah, the last time when their mother came down to Earth, it was the end of the Roman Empire. Okay. A little drastic for one of them to do, but now we have a couple hundred of them,
What could possibly go wrong?
right?
Well, they say a couple hundred. We see like 4 of them
We
in
see
bad wigs.
No, we see 6 of them. There's 2, 2, and 2, and then Painter Boy.
Yes, in bad wigs.
Very bad way.
You've got to remember, this had less budget than Doctor Who did.
Did
They
Did
could
anyone
have
else
not
get-
had wigs. They could have just had their normal hair. That would have been cheaper.
Did anyone else get Village of the
Yeah,
Vibes
that was
off
very.
them? It was very heavy with that. But you had that, and you had side plot in this whole thing of Elizabeth breaking out
Mm-hmm.
and refusing to believe. Look, kid, you're insane. I'm
They should have
not.
had John go around and speak. Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
oh.
went well.
That
That's
went
into
good
a
because he
crisis.
teleported in front of her.
Jaunted.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
not
John-
good at this. Stop sending him
not.
to do it.
He's not.
I'm sorry,
Don't make
we've
this
already
guy
had a
talk
rant
to
about
people.
this. This is obviously something that's
Wants
going to
go
come back.
Swimming in his very small swimsuit.
Yeah, this is obviously a trope that's going to come back on every single review we do. The inappropriateness of John.
Yes.
We haven't even hit disco clothes yet.
I've no idea what that noise was.
That was the noise
That
of
was
disco
very,
clothes.
very
Disco clothes is coming up
involuntary.
in the next mini arc.
Series. No, then. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Rome.
Yeah, Rome. Oh God, Rome.
Uh huh.
Anyway, what's the next one, Brian?
The next one is a time travel adventure
Called?
featuring everybody's favorite whiny little time
Not
wannabe
Peter.
lord, Peter.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
called.
I forget.
Is it Rift?
I
in
call
Time?
it Rome
Is it Rift in
because
Time?
that's when they have to go back to
Is it a Rift in Time?
a rift in time. Yeah.
I don't know if that's right.
Makes
I'm
9.
just guessing.
No, it's a rift in time.
Okay, all right. I don't really know much about people's titles that well.
It's interesting because there's a good time traveler, there's a bad time traveler. Okay. There's a bad time traveler,
hang on,
and then there's
hang on.
Peter.
You're jumping ahead of Fortnite.
Yeah.
You're jumping ahead of Fortnite. All right. Don't give out spoilers.
The whiniest
First.
little time lord.
Yeah, man. Oh,
Yep. Just
Yeah.
wait till you see Peter.
yeah. Oh dear. So
You've already met Peter once
he
from
was
the Medusa.
Yeah, the Medusa thing. He's
but,
back, and
he
this
gets
time
worse.
he means it.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
will say changing the cast on this one before we move forward is probably a good thing because they have characters bringing in Elizabeth. They've got a character who's capable of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Who has an
Whereas,
actual job?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
an important thing there, I think.
but is capable of like interacting with other people and like likes other people.
Elizabeth actually gets a bigger role later on.
Oh yeah, very much so. I make a joke about it, but Kenny in the first series, he never had anything to do at all.
Yeah.
No, I mean it wasn't his. It's not the actor's fault. The script
It's
gave
the
him
script.
nothing to
No,
do.
exactly.
It kept
Yeah.
me. Kenny,
And why
stay
didn't
here.
teleport- to
Why
London
didn't the
Bridge,
script
jump
editor
off
say,
it.
look, there's no point in having this character if you're not going to do something with it? I mean, it's one
Yes.
thing to do it in like that in the first story, but to have 3 stories in a row where the characters
Nothing
just
to
nothing
do.
happening.
There's nothing.
That's all.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you, Blake 7, as well. All right. I listened to A Big Finish. Actually,
I
listened.
downloaded it and read it, and then didn't listen to it.
I actually
to.
listened.
I did
Didn't.
nothing.
I actually listened to 2 Big Finishes. What are they? I listed the other. I wasn't going to review the other one. I was just listening to it for fun, and then I found out Lilibet hadn't done her thing, and so
Sorry.
I've got to fill out the time somehow. So first of all, ongoing thing: the Sapphire and Steel audio box sets. We're on box set 1. This is story 2 of that, set in a nightmare, aka suburbia. Something odd is going on in a family house. There's a mother, a daughter, and a son. The son's just come back from university for the first time. The daughter's playing up a bit and playing the music loud, but there seems to be something strange happening with time. And occasionally it seems like the kids are talking to somebody. I have a sneaky feeling that not unlike the TV show, these are going to be difficult to review. Because not a huge amount happens. It's about atmosphere. You know they're going to try and test ways of doing things and discover other things. For example, Sapphire touches something and ends up getting trapped. Eventually Steel manages to rescue her, that sort of thing. And the ending is darker than the story 2 from the TV series, The Railway Station, where they sacrifice Tully to the darkness. It is darker than that. In fact, I would put trigger warnings on it.
They have trigger warnings on it.
I don't know. I'm saying now. I'd put trigger warnings on it as I'm telling you this now, just so you're aware. I don't want somebody coming back saying, "Oh, you didn't tell us this was going to happen." And apparently, it's not going to be the only one in this set which is like that. So, very good. I was listening to it instead of on headphones. I was listening to it on my sound system, and I don't know what it did with my sound system, but it was one that was very sound editing heavy. There was a lot of noise. I was cocooned in a bubble right in the middle of this noise. It was quite lovely. Bloody weird, but lovely. That's a thumbs up for the second one. Just be careful of that ending. All right? Go into it with your eyes open.
Having not listened to it, but when you download it, either on their app or you buy it or whatever, it's in the descriptions, the trigger warnings. Yeah. So go ahead and read those, and if they're not
I'm not going to mention what the trigger warnings are in case I trigger somebody.
Yes. But go read them first before you listen.
Yeah, please. Viewer discretion
advised. Or if you really want to be traumatized, just go for it.
Well, and sometimes those are things like, I read those and went, okay, those aren't triggers for me, but I'm glad those warnings are there for the people for whom they are.
Quite right too. I also did listening to the last of the Sontarans versus Rutans storyline. This one's a war doctor one, and it ties up stuff from the
Does the cat stories. Do any damage? The cat really takes out the Rutans?
Cats would take out Rutans.
The field marshal?
What are you talking about? Oh, Field Marshal Cat.
Yeah,
Group Marshal Cat. No, this isn't. No, this isn't that Sontaran. Sadly, I'm
just saying the cat.
I want to see more adventures of him and Field Marshal Cat.
I want to see the adventures of Field Marshal Cat.
Yeah, but this is proper Sontarans, not comedy Sontarans. Still played by Dan Stark and Chris Ryan.
What's the difference?
It's subtle, but it's there. This one takes them seriously, very seriously indeed. A TARDIS, Battle TARDIS, because remember, we're in the Time War. Battle TARDIS materialises on Time Lord Station, and the crew wipe out the Time Lords on the station. That's a bit odd, don't you think? A Rutan must have got in, because the last place they went to was a Sontaran outpost. A Rutan must have got into the TARDIS, killed the Time Lords in there, and managed to get, out onto the station. So the Doctor gets sent, or rather insists on going to this station to talk to the Sontarans there. He's under a diplomatic pass, which is very useful. And the trouble is, the Time Lords want to basically wipe Ruta 3 from the Rutan homeworld from existence in a way only the Time Lords can do, that, so it never existed, and then capture it in a paradox cage so that the effects don't attack the time stream. Unfortunately, the Doctor's having visions of time utterly destroyed, so this has to be stopped.
Sounds like a proportional response anyway.
Yeah. Something smells to the Doctor, and it's not just the Sontarans. except it is the Sontarans. Now, he gets a Sontaran he met a couple of incarnations previously, and they'd worked together to basically look at him and say, yeah, we were there, because the record of that incident is missing from the computer banks. And so he gets hold of the Sontaran who says, yes, we were there, this did happen. And then the Sontarans turn on the Doctor and this other Sontaran. Meanwhile, Gallifrey's launched a fleet of battle TARDISes with this thing that's going to destroy Ruta 3.
Do that. They're kind of jerks.
Well, it's the Time War. The Time Lords in the Time War are not the Time Lords we know and love. He's silly hats as well. Yeah, it's then a case of, can the War Doctor Who stop this thing from being detonated? I'm terribly sorry, are we keeping you up? Don't make me send you to Brian.
I'm going to put out a spoiler right now for this one. Yes, he can.
Okay. Yes, I had to think there for a second to what you were referring.
Can the War Doctor stop this thing from... Yes, he can.
Yes, he can. I'm not going to give the twist away on this one because it's a good twist. And it ties in, if you've been listening to the previous Sontarans versus Rutans stories, this ties up some nice little loose ends. And it's a fun story in its own right. I like it when the Doctor works with the Sontarans rather than against them, because the Sontarans, thick-headed as they are a useful companion to have. Forget comedy Strax, much as I love Strax to pieces. This particular Sontaran, again, Dan Starkey, he amazes me. The amount of different Sontarans he's managed to play, and he's managed to make each one just slightly different. It's the man's remarkable. So
you should have a Wikipedia entry that goes like Sontaran 1, Sontaran 2, Sontaran 3, Sontaran 4.
Probably.
All for the same show.
All
yes.
Sontarans at the hatching on...
yeah.
What was I going to say? Next week, next Flashing Blade, I'll be looking at least Sapphire and Steel Story 3 from the first box set. And I don't know if I'll be looking at anything else. It depends whether a little bit actually listens to Sapphire and Steel.
Sorry. Like I said, it's on my phone. Next week.
I'm wondering, actually, could we skip the Tomorrow People for one show? Please. To give people time to watch and listen, because we're doing 2 Doctor Who's as well as the audios. Can we see how that works?
Watch that one yet?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm just not going to have a lot to talk about.
Oh, that's all right.
We'll have 2 Doctor Who's.
Yeah, 2 Doctor Who's to talk about. It's just I'm a little. I don't know. I'm just a bit worried that the workload's a bit much at the moment.
It actually wasn't the workload. It's that I usually listen on my commute, and my commutes have been weird lately. What with everything else going on.
All right.
So
let's show our hands here. Do you want to do Tomorrow People next week?
I don't mind doing the Tomorrow People because that's television time, not travel. They're different.
TV time is very different than having to watch something while you're moving around.
Yeah, no, that's cool. All right, as long as you're happy to do that, then that's fine.
I will do my best to actually listen this week.
I'm floundering a bit. Like I say, I'm finding it very difficult to actually review. Because not a huge deal happens, but when it does, oh my God.
Well, I do think that they are, in general, very atmospheric. And unless you, even though the original episodes, unless you review plot point by plot point, or you just talk about overall theme, they are hard to talk about.
I honestly thought
I enjoyed it, but
I honestly thought I had Sapphire and Steel on DVD, and I haven't. So I'm going to have to rectify that as soon as I've got enough money to be able
It's
to
on
rectify
YouTube.
it. No, I haven't been able to find it properly on YouTube. I think some of it's been taken down.
No, I'll grab it for you.
Was on a
Let me
streaming
give you a
service
link.
with commercials last year.
Peacock? I know
No,
it was on
it was like-
it's on BritBox at one point.
No, it was on an actual like,
Great.
you know, Tubby TV, something like that.
Oh, okay. There's too
Tubi.
many of them.
Tubi, that's it.
I get
Tubi.
my new car
Tubi,
in
doo.
just over a month. But I've got
Excellent.
a couple of long things, long drives to happen. One up to Cambridge for the Tim Drury Sharda tour.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting. See if the buggy thing works going through Cambridge city centre. That'll be fun.
Well, tether yourself to a balloon.
Well, I've asked him to make sure there's no steps. So here's hoping. And also I've got to drive to North London. Well, Hertfordshire, to be honest. Was it Middlesex? No, Hertfordshire. I'm visiting somebody. It's their birthday. Yes. Anyway. Yeah. So that's what I'm up to. I've got this bizarre cross between grief and excitement. I'm really sad to be losing my old car, but I'm really excited about getting the new one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bizarre feeling. Anyway, where are you up to the next 2 weeks? A little bit.
Finishing up last week of work, which is a weird combination of boredom, of I have to be here and I don't have much to do, and
Bring games in.
but the thing is, I don't have kids anymore.
For you and the other
Students
teachers.
are gone.
For you and the
Well,
other
I mean,
teachers.
some of the students are there, but we
Poker school.
actively encouraged them, like, hey, don't come back after Memorial Day. We're not doing anything. If you come back, we're going to put you to work. You stay home, play video games.
Our teachers never did anything that kind to us.
Because we're done. Grades are closed. We closed grades Friday. Like, we're done. But our calendar says we have to still be in school.
No, ours was.
But we're done.
So it's a good time to watch Tomorrow People.
Yeah, well, I would, except my Tomorrow People DVDs are UK. So I can't watch them in my classroom.
I can fix that.
But I could do listening.
There is a YouTube Tomorrow People. Are they on YouTube still?
No,
They're
but
not.
I can fix that.
Yeah, but she hasn't
So
got.
you don't need the DVDs.
The other problem is work computer.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
What are you up to over the next fortnight, the Brian?
The Brian will be doing lots of work with lots of heat going around. I'm preparing more stuff for the RPG.
Dum dum dum.
Would you like to tell people where and when it is?
Sure. It's
Go
at
on.
Thaco. It's at Thaco Gaming. On YouTube. THA space CO.
Oh, or
And-
0?
0. Sorry. 0. And yeah, hop on in. I'll throw a link up in the chat. as soon
You're
as I
the
get
only
there.
viewer, Brian.
Shut up.
Just saying.
I'll throw a link up in chat.
God damn it, he's got one job and he's determined to do it.
I got one job, goddammit.
You know, they keep putting other things like bringing them back to the theater for their such and such anniversary. I'd love for Galaxy Quest to come back to the theater.
Yes,
I
I'll
would
enjoy it.
love to see that on the big screen again.
Hey, I'm celebrating 17 years of podcasting, by the way.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Wait a minute, stop!
We've tried to kill you several times. You know this.
So I'm just watching my cat. He's gone off on one. You have?
We've been hiring assassins from Timu, okay?
That's what
You see,
happens
you
when you
should go
buy
to
your
someone-
assassins off of Wish.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
you should use
exactly.
Wish. You won't go wrong there.
Should have used Wish. I might get better assassins.
So, the next show, it's Dot and Bubble as well as Rogue. It's the Tomorrow People story. I think it's A Rift in Time.
Rift in
And
Time, yes.
The third story from the first box set of Big Finish's Sapphire and Steel. Yeah, that's in 2 weeks' time, boys and girls. Anybody got anything else they want to do saying of?
I don't think so.
No, Brian, anything?
No.
Better say goodbye then, really.
Goodbye then, really.
Goodbye then, really.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Susan Twist is really John Levine. Just saying. Ta-ra.